It's been a while since we've done one of these. There's been lots going on. Today is one of those days on the campaign where the challenge of doing this as an independent feels really strong. So we were supposed to have an event this morning, a reverse hustings, where I invited 6 CEOs that do amazing things in London to share their vision for the city. And in response, the mayoral candidates from all parties and independents would then share their response in real time. So instead of the audience and people watching at home getting the prescribed, this is my written speech, it had to be more responsive to the things that Londoners say they want. And we had to cancel it at the last minute because none of the main party candidates could attend. For Labour and Conservative, they just didn't respond at all. I did get responses from the Green Party and Lib Dems. And fair enough, there was a direct clash and they had the courtesy of at least responding. But it's really frustrating because in a democracy, we should hear from people running for office. And what I would say about the current mayor is that he will avoid doing any significant husting events where he has to go up against other candidates for this whole season, which means that there is absolutely no opportunity to hold him to account. Last night in London, there was a people's question time. And given that the report into the murder of Sarah Everard was released, I would have expected to have seen headlines about the mayor's role as the chief commissioner of the Met Police. And there were no questions, there was no narrative about it. And it's really frustrating that we have a mayor that sort of skirts around the job that he's doing and how poor of a job that he's doing across the board. And because we're not having hustings and people aren't asking serious questions, and I would say journalists aren't asking tough questions either, we could sleepwalk into a position of not knowing anything about what candidates in parties or otherwise would do to make London better. And it's just really frustrating. I'm also in the middle of the process of securing nominations. So did you know that to get onto the ballot, all of the candidates have to get 330 signatures from across the capital? That breaks down to 10 signatures in every borough in London and the City of London Corporation. And it's not just signatures. You need addresses and electoral roll numbers. And independents are at a disadvantage because we don't get any of the same information that the main party candidates have. So we literally have to go borough to borough, securing all of this information. It's all paper-based. You can't do any of this digitally because it's 1985. And again, it's just another frustration about how much our process doesn't enable anything progressive to happen. It doesn't actually feel like a democracy. It feels like a system rigged for two parties that are both a bit, not a bit, they are. And it drives me to keep going, but at the same time, I wake up every day with literally flames coming out of my head because I'm frustrated with the poor options that we've got. You've all told me that you feel like you have to vote for the lesser of two evils. And I keep saying, no, you can vote with conviction for a candidate that you really want, whether that candidate's me or someone else. Show up on the 2nd of May and vote for who you want. That's really important. And I do believe that 1.5 million of you are going to show up on the 2nd of May and vote for me because you've had enough of the two parties basically holding power for themselves and doing very little with it to make people's lives better.